What's up, everyone? It's your boy Phil Shotgun 96 Hedgehog, and welcome to the FDN recap of our season. Now, originally, I don't think I was going to plan to do a recap of this season, but this season we were able to, when we took over the team, made a bunch of transactions, but then we were able to take this team and somehow made it all the way to the finals where we were super close to winning. There was only two plays I wish I had done right there. Two to plays I would have made. One play would have been to gone into clicked a Moonblast against the Thunderous and got either damage or a crit knockout potentially right there from the knockoff, or the switch in obviously to the discharge on the Thunderous to get the motor drive. So unfortunately for us there, we didn't make those plays, and that was definitely one of the things we could have cost us a momentum shifter right there for us. But the big thing obviously was, if you guys did not see the battle, you're gonna get spoiled in three, two, one. Was the freeze on Electivire, which ultimately cost us the game because that allowed her Mew, allowed Taylor to get the Mew, all three layers of spikes, and I could not stop those spikes. If I had Defog, there would have been a remote chance possibly, but Defog wasn't in my mindset from last game from her, and wasn't from this one. So, unfortunately for us, we came so close and so far, but we did not win. But we came second place, and honestly, for me, this was a win because we took a team that probably did not have the most likelihood of chances to make playoffs. I was only allowed to probably lose like one game this season and then have to win out, and we basically did that, and then we went on a tear with two Registeel sweeps in the playoffs and making it to the finals. So we did everything we could to make it there, and we played our absolute best. But unfortunately, we lost to Taylor. But GG's again to Taylor. They played phenomenally well, and they brought some heat sets. And with that, I'm just gonna say that's it. We were bested by a great player, and that's all I can say. Hacks played a factor, but overall, played great. You just do the best you can. So I decided I'm going to go ahead and do a recap since we did make finals. And there's a couple of Pokemon I really want to talk about going into the season. So let's just go ahead and get it. If you guys are enjoying this video, leave a like if you can already. Subscribe if you're new. Join the Field Striker crew today because we're filming with the King of the Crew. And also, I wanted to make a big announcement and shout out to thank you to every single one of you that gave us a community post. My channel has apparently reached a certain amount of from the algorithm or views of my channel or whatever, to the point I now have access to community posts on my channel, which thank you all so much for the love and support that was able to get me to the community post. Because usually most times people they gotta go to like hundreds and hundreds of subscribers in order to get that. We were able to somehow get it only being at 42. So thank you all so much. It really means a lot that we were able to unlock a new type of feature to communicate with all of you guys and stuff like that. So thank you, thank you, thank you. It means the world to me. So let's quickly talk about the season. So we're not gonna really talk about a lot of these. Mandibuzz, I didn't even bring him once. Mamora brought him once, he didn't do well. Mandibuzz, I do think is a good mon. You should draft though with Dragapult because he is one of the best main stoppers, and there's also another good Aegis / pairing as well. Mandibuzz, I don't know why, I just didn't think there was any matches I really liked Mandibuzz in, and it just felt like it wasn't going to do too much for what I wanted. So overall, I just did not like the option of Mandibuzz in every matchup I was in, and I just really didn't think it was all that good in some matchups. Some people were very shocked I didn't bring it, but to me, I just didn't think they looked good in a match. Magmortar, there were some options to him, but he just overshadowed. He only had that one good showing that was in the match against Cohen. That was that only loss in the regular season, believe it or not. So, Meowstick, he only came to the one game, but it put in the work it needed to do with those screens. It came in clutch at the end game that helped us win that match. So, Meowstick overall got a better showing from those two just because of that moment. But now let's talk about pretty much the main 8 Mons I brought almost every single week. And just barely edging under Electivire was Roserade. Roserade was proven to be such a good Pokemon again this time around. And we didn't get to use Roserade all that much, but it came in the clutch with that Choice Scarf Energy Ball to knock out that Mamoswine turn 1 and get rid of the biggest threat to our team in that matchup. So Roserade, absolute amazing Pokemon. If you guys have not tried Roserade, please give this one a try. It is so fun. It is so good. We got to try out a Jetpack Roserade, which actually helped us win that playoff match, actually. So, Aquarius tells you to use a jetpack. Listen to the woman. She's smart. She's wise. She knows exactly what she's doing. And when she tells you to run it, you run it, and look what happens. You win games. But Rosary was really great. I didn't use Rosary for quite a while, and this definitely opened the door of possibilities for me to use Rosary in the future. And definitely, I'm looking forward to using Rosary again. Hopefully, it is in Scarlet Violet, which I think is confirmed. I don't know, but if it is, I'm looking forward to using it again. Now, the man who got so wrongfully taken away his rights to do anything last game. And the only reason I'm putting Electivire above is because Electivire did help against Conan, but the main thing is Electivire helped against Taylor the first time around, and it was going to help again really well the second time around, but it got frozen. But overall, I do think Electivire is the electric type. If you do not draft, you must draft it. It is so underrated in so many times when people draft electric types. This is a very good electric type. Option for some pseudo mixed sets, which is really good with access to things like Flamethrower and Thunderbolt. But this thing hits like an absolute truck. Wild Charge, Ice Punch, Fire Punch, Earthquake, the coverage. First time around we brought this thing against Taylor, got completely bamboozled by the coverage of Electivire and completely forgot we got those options. This time around, came slightly prepared by getting freeze. I'm not gonna be salty about it. I'm just letting you guys know now. But yeah, we ultimately I think Electivire is such a great electric type. I think 95 is a good solid speed tier. Again, a good electric immunity give you access to speed control, which is really well. If you haven't drafted Electivire, draft Electivire. It's a good Pokemon. Now let's get into our main six, and surprisingly enough, the weakest one of the six was sadly Lycanroc Dusk. I don't think Lycanroc Dusk was a bad mon for us to pick up. First off, it came in clutch with that Thunderfang flinch. That was a big moment right there for us in that one match. I think I know how to use this Pokemon. I think it's just been so long since I've used it. I don't think I've kind of gotten the grasp of things I want to try with it yet. This is definitely a Pokemon in the future I want to keep drafting to learn to perfect and do well with. Because this is a Pokemon I absolutely do love. Again, I haven't used this Pokemon in so many years, so I definitely think it showed in the way we played and kind of build. So overall, Lycanroc is a fantastic mon. I highly encourage everyone to draft it. It is so good offensively, and I definitely think I want to give it another try in the future. Up next, a very surprising mon that you probably didn't expect to see in this top six for the best mons we had on our team, and that was Miltank. Miltank is so underrated. If you do not try this mon, what is wrong with you? Draft Miltank. It's so fun. Defensive coverage wise, this thing is really well. It got things like Curse and stuff like that. Body Press is really good set on this thing as well. Scrappy, Thick Head, and Half Stepper. All three solid abilities, regardless of what you think about it. And access to things like Miltank is really good. But I think what was super slept on and really was able to help us out against Taylor in both kind of times, I would feel like, definitely was bringing that Miltank set, that Miltank speedy set that no one ever expects you to run, but we ran it, and it worked last time really well, getting 2 or 3 KOs against Taylor in the regular season, and made her really scared of this thing because of Ice Punch. But I'm really excited for what we did with Miltank this season. I think Miltank is definitely a normal type I want to explore a little bit more. But I think we had a lot of great tech with this thing, and I think we played it relatively well. Primarina, it goes to show that I know how to use this Pokemon. It didn't get as many kills as I was wanting, but its job is mostly not to get kills. It's mostly job to help break, and it definitely did a lot. And the clutch speed creeping we did obviously paid off, getting rid of that Surf Edge and getting rid of a massive threat that could have been a big issue to our team. But Surf Edge, I mean, Primarina is so good. Liquid Voice was such a slept-on ability that we wanted to go with this last matchup, and definitely was going to be a good tech. Should have probably brought that last time against Taylor, but it is what it is. Primarina, if you haven't drafted this thing, what are you doing with your life? This is a phenomenal water type. This is a phenomenal fairy type. If you're going to go dual water or dual fairy, this is your primarily usage of a water or fairy, or you can even use both. This is such a good Pokemon. AV is really good on this mon. Sub 3 attack offense is really good as well. And it can be relatively physically defensive if you really make it that way. It is such a super slept on Pokemon. If you've not used this Pokemon, what is wrong with you? Please give Primarina a try. You will not regret it. Landorus with Sheer Force. He only finished, I think, with he only finished with maybe 5 or 6 kills this season, which definitely doesn't show why this mon's really all that strong sometimes. But I think we've used Landorus well. Landorus came in the absolute clutch against that Blissey with that superpower into Earth power and live in that ice beam, getting the luckiest roll possible. Landorus was a go for that. Landorus put in some good work throughout, the run we did. He got a couple of kills. I think like half of its kills in the playoffs / finals. Overall, I think Landorus is a super good mon. If you have not tried Landorus for Sheer Force, definitely give it a try. Let me know what you think it is. I mean, I know Mount is someone that loves Landorus for Sheer Force, and he got I think kill leader with it. But Landorus for Sheer Force is super hard to prep for. But it kind of makes it. The only thing I would say is bad about Landorus is that it's super predictable. You're obviously going to know it's going to be Life Orb Sheer Force almost every single time of the week, and you're going to be able to counter that thing super easily. I think there were some times we actually did not bring Life Orb and try to counteract some people's prep, but sometimes on that, I was always looking back at bringing Life Orb just to be a super offensive Thunderous, which whether it came back to haunt us or not, that's up for give or take. But overall, I liked Thunderous. It was a fun mon this season, and if you haven't tried it before, definitely give it a shot. It's definitely worth trying in draft and big on the point budget there. Now, if you were going to tell me, would Registeel be the second best mon on the team, I would have told you you're crazy. But I have come to realize that this is the best steel type in draft. This thing didn't get a single kill in the regular season or do anything in the regular season. And then in the quarterfinals and semifinals, picked up 7 kills. Count them. 7. It has like 3 or 4 deaths, and it got 7 kills to go in positive differential. I think I've definitely learned to appreciate and love Registeel way more than I thought I was going to. Now, there's a lot more things that Registeel can do besides Iron Beam and Spybreath, but it can just run that one set so good. Rest Sleep Talk proved to be really good, and this is definitely a go-to steel type I want to give another shot to because I have not used Registeel a lot actually, and this opened my eyes to how good Registeel really can be. So I'm super excited for Registeel next time around I get him. But I'm just glad we really used Registeel and we were able to pull off the mini sweeps that we did with him, which was awesome. If you haven't drafted this before, give him a shot. He is arguably one of the 2 best steel types in draft league format. Some argue say Bronzor is the best steel type. Some would say this is the best steel type. Personally, for me, after playing with it, this is the best steel type in draft. And it should go to no shame that we were able to keep this mon in the top 10 for kill leader of the season. And we were able to rack up at least, I think, a grand total of like 2, maybe 4 KOs with it in the regular seat in the playoffs, maybe. I don't know. But Dragapult is a good mon. I definitely think I've been able to experiment well enough with Dragapult. I think I've used Dragapult decently well actually this with this season. I think there's still some things I can still explore with Dragapult. So if Dragapult, which I do think is possibly coming back, I don't guarantee that for you for certain. But if Dragapult does come back, I want one more shot with Dragapult. I think I can make Dragapult work. And if he ends up being a mon and don't work, don't worry. He'll probably get sniped away from me because more times than not, I'm going to have a really bad draft position. But Dragapult, it's so fun. If you never got a chance to try this mon, I feel bad for you because it is so good. Clear Body is such a really good ability. And if you run Infiltrator, it's a better option. But overall, Dragapult's really nice. It's super strong, super hard hitting, and I do think it's just a slept on Pokemon. If you have never tried this mon, please give this mon a shot because it is so good. Dragon Ghost was so hard offensively, and the coverage this thing has is amazing as well. So that is it for the season, guys. Thank you so much for watching. Thank you for all the love and support, and thank you to definitely some of the FDN members out there who've been watching and checking out the videos. Thank you guys so much. But like I said, thank you guys so much for everything. This was a great season, and I think I definitely made a very strong impression in this league. And I definitely felt like I really pushed myself to really set a good standard for myself when I took over this team. So I was definitely expecting not to make playoffs. I think if I lost one game, it was probably over. But no, it actually proved I had more chances. But if I lost one more game, then that would pretty much be it. But we just went on a tear after only losing to Corin and then just winning out and just having an absolute strong performance. Then going undefeated in playoffs, but then sadly only losing 2-0 though in finals, which is fine with me. But overall, this was a great season. I enjoyed this team. It was a lot of fun. Thank you to FDN members and mods and commissioners for allowing me to be the sub into the season. I had a lot of fun, and who knows, maybe you guys will see me back for season 4. But thank you guys for watching. Like, comment, share, subscribe, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace.